Good morning, YouTube. This is Glover International, and this is the McMinn County Courthouse. I am in Athens, Tennessee. Today I want to tell you a story. It's an exciting story. There are heroes and villains. There is a fight and a victory. And my favorite part of the story is that it is true. And it is relevant to today. And it happened right here in Athens, Tennessee. This road that I'm on right now is called College Street. And the road that I'm about to take a left on is called White Street. And right here is ground zero for what's called the Battle of Athens. I want to add in here that I don't have any notes in front of me, so it's possible that I will get a little bit of this story wrong. It's also possible, even likely, that I will editorialize it a little bit. And so I would encourage you to look up some information about this yourself. And I will put a couple of links in the description box below to help you get started with that. The story actually starts in the 1930s, around 1935. A fellow became sheriff in McMinn County, and he turned out to be a sheriff that might remind us of Sheriff Lobo or Boss Hogg. And he set up his little empire here in McMinn County and did as he pleased and used his power and influence and office to make money for himself and for others. Fortunately, or at least I would say fortunately, around this same time, there were a couple of thousand fellas that were getting released from the U.S. military right after World War II. And so these were guys who had just finished fighting with their lives to oppose tyranny and empires. And so these fellas were pretty ill prepared to be taking orders from a Sheriff Lobo. And by the way, his name was not Lobo or Boss Hogg. I think it was Cantrell. These citizens and veterans were just good, hard-working Americans, and they were not at all interested in having a coup, and they wanted to do everything legally. So what they did come the next election is they encouraged friends to run for office, you know, being nonpartisan, and they supported them and encouraged them. However, on election day, August the 1st, 1946, the little evil empire took over, or attempted to take over. Okay, I'm standing right here at the corner of College and White, and this is where it all went down. Right across the street was the county jail. So what happened on August the 1st, when the polls closed, the sheriff's little evil empire quickly gathered up the ballot boxes and ran to the county jail, which was a stone and brick building that they felt was well fortified. But the citizens and veterans decided that they weren't going to go for that. They weren't going to have the ballots counted in private. So they demanded that the ballot box be returned to where they could be counted in public, the way that they're supposed to be. These demands were refused, and that refusal basically started the Battle of Athens. So from this hill, I'll show this with my GoPro. From this hill and really surrounding the whole jail, surrounding the jail, shots were fired. And the veterans and citizens quickly realized that the jail was pretty well fortified, and the exchange of bullets really wasn't going to get the job done. And so they pretty quickly realized that they needed to go to a little bit heavier firepower and proceeded to use dynamite to blow the doors off of the jail. At this time, the sheriff of Nottingham and his cronies, by the way, it's my understanding that there were 55 armed deputies that were brought into town for the election by the existing regime, and McMinn County didn't have 55 deputies, so they had brought in some additional firepower just for the election from the surrounding counties. But they were defeated by some armed citizens. And when the ballot boxes were brought back out and they were counted, it was discovered that 5 offices had been replaced. And along with those offices, some other policies. One of the policies was that the sheriff and his deputies were paid according to the number of people that they arrested and fined, which of course led to a lot of illegal shakedowns for which they got paid. Anyway, this is a prime example of why our Second Amendment exists. Look it up. I hope that you will look it up. And so I'm here to salute those past heroes, and I salute our current heroes, and say a prayer for our future heroes, because it sure looks like we're going to need them.